working with these guys after being in other bands and seeing the way that this team operates, seeing the way that the fans operate, there's something really fucking special about this world that I'm in
Yeah.
now. It's really fucking
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely. It kind of really kicked off right about the time that you joined. So maybe it was Dan Sugarman was the secret ingredient that was missing this whole time.
I'm gonna 100% not agree to that, but I appreciate you.
Yeah. Well, I do think, I think that, obviously the work that Spencer and everyone else have been doing for, the 15 years or so that you weren't in the band, obviously was like,
Yeah.
a huge part of it. But musically, the band definitely leveled up a lot, after you joined,
Yeah, man. I mean, it was a
like
really,
very noticeably.
dude, that means so fucking much. I mean, first of all, I have to say this. Joe, our bass player, and he's like one of the other main writers between Spencer and I and him. Uh, he's such a fucking phenomenal musician and such an incredible piano player that like that's a huge part of it. The fact that like Spencer can have these ideas now and have zero, what's the word, filter for like what is possible. He's just like, I
Right.
would be
Right.
nuts to hear this, and like we'll do it, and then he'll be like, actually, that's a little bit too much, and then we could peel back from there.
That's
But
a good
like,
problem to have.
it's a good problem to have, and
I
this
mean,
is
it's
what
it's amazing to me that the band is as big as it is, playing stuff that is like very conceptually kind of left of center, and also musically now like just wild. Like it's really not accessible music that I like. It feels to me like it should be a tiny little cult band that only like
yeah,
total nerds like, and it's not
yeah,
that.
dude. It feels to me like Spencer took the temperature of everything going on, and like, do you know, I forget the town. It's actually pretty, I think it might be Burbank, but the original McDonald's and the original Taco Bell are like across the street from each other. Do you know about
Oh,
this
I didn't
story?
know that.
Yeah,
No.
and Taco Bell was originally a burger place, and they were competing with all other burger places, like all the Tommy Boys and all that shit. What made Taco Bell become Taco Bell? The taco. They were doing burgers before that. So them being like, let's do like the same sorts of like ingredients in a completely different shape and like a different like culture and a different and more of a niche, right? And
Hmm.
then all of a sudden you could argue Taco Bell is like as big as McDonald's, maybe not globally,
If
but
not, it's certainly close.
it's certainly
It's right up
close.
there.
So I think Spencer did something really similar to that, where instead of doing what everyone else was doing better, he did what no one was brave enough to do.
Hmm.
And as good or as bad as it was, it's continually getting better. And I think that's what keeps this band in this like very secure, uh I don't even, niche isn't even the right culture. It's not even a
No,
niche anymore. It's a
no, it's not
culture.
a niche. Yeah,
Yeah.
and if what's interesting is if it was me, because I'm a marketing guy.
Mm.
If it was me with Welcome to Horrorwood, that would have been the butt rock album. I'd be like, now we got to play it safe, right? Because finally we've sort of broken through. We can't do anything that's too weird because we want
Yeah.
the Octane people to like us. We got to do something safe, and it's definitely like the weirdest, most like
Yeah.
technical material that Ice Nine has ever done.
Absolutely. And it's also on the inverse side of it. Like the first song we did for this record, I guess besides Hip to Be Scared, we actually wrote that in the bus on tour with Papa Roach right before the COVID hit. So that one was like written on tour, I guess. But the first one we did, let's go home and actually write this fucking record, that was Ex Mortis. And that song is like, it's a 6/8 swing song. It's supposed to feel like zombie Elvis. It's super fucking simple, super direct. Um, and it doesn't really have that same super extreme thing that you're talking about. And I think there's something really cool about the fact that
Hmm.
like even the song Fly, for instance, or
But like, not
uh,
everything has to be crazy.
exactly, like there's this, I sort of call it 311 theory. I feel
Hmm.
like you
I
like
love
311.
311.
Fucking, I
Yeah.
knew it. I knew you would. Okay, so like 311's first record came out and it's funk, punk, reggae, rock, rockabilly. And because they like preconceived that, whatever comes after it is totally accessible. Totally
Right.
acceptable and accessible. I think Ice Nine continually does this thing where like you expect the unexpected because we've been doing that for so long that like you can get X, and this is what I was gonna say. So we wrote Ex Mortis, which is just like dun, 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 dun. It's like we literally wrote that song for arenas. We wrote that song for that vibe, and like watching my band play with Metallica and open up with Ex Mortis, I was just like, this is okay, it worked. This is fucking insane.
Yeah.
but we wrote that, and then we wrote Assault and Batteries right after it, which
Right.
is like I between Farewell to Flesh and Assault and Batteries, I would say that those two are the most extreme guitar wise. I'm sorry, Funeral Derangements is what I meant, not Farewell to Flesh. Funeral Derangements has
That's
extreme.
the Pet Cemetery one.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That one has extremely challenging guitar parts, but then it sits
Yeah.
back in the pocket. As where Assault and Batteries is pretty extreme the whole time. But the hard part in Funeral is probably a little harder than Assault and Batteries, but collectively Assault and Batteries is fucking up there. But just like the idea that we could oscillate between like zombie Elvis to like murdering doll chaos back to like I think what was the one we did after that? It was probably like Shower Scene, which was like super mellow, and then I think we did actually Farewell to Flesh after that with Matt Squire. So it's like there you can do no wrong when you have the predetermined idea of all of it's right. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean people are gonna like it or get it, which they
True.
do.
True. That's a
You
very
know,
good point. I mean,
that's the part that's really amazing to me. Is like it's one thing to be experimental, like that alone. I respect that, but if you can be experimental and commercially successful, like god damn, that is like the hardest thing in the world.
yeah, dude. I mean, I think you and I could probably have this discussion for ages, but it probably has a lot to do with like accessibility combined with the ambiguousness, combined with the like enigma nature of Spencer while simultaneously being like super humorous and a normal like it's like everything is like this
Right.
middle path on all of this stuff that feels like extreme in any way, right?
Right.
Like someone who's to anything. I think Spencer and the band for that matter, for the marketing team, we found a way to just kind of like hit the middle on almost everything. And I think it allows people to come up with their own extreme opinions or interpretations of what it is, right? Like I do know for a fact that people prefer the more extreme stuff over the not more extreme stuff, or they prefer the more like Worst Vacation, Shower Scene songs over the Assault and Batteries. Like there's for sure types of fans of us that prefer
Yeah.
different types of songs we have. But the fact of the matter is all those people show up to the same show and they all
Right.
commingle, love the songs just as much as the next person. And I think there's no answer. I think this band is an absolute anomaly. I think that's what
Totally. I think
I
so
think that's
too.
what it is, dude.